Hello, Cappies. So it's Thursday, it's Cappy day, and I've got my coffee and I'm ready for coffee with Cappy. So I don't know how your reading's going to go. Let's just get you a song because I've got kind of the songs up. So a song for Cappy, please. Babel by Mumford and Sons. So Babel, I don't know, maybe there is a bit of a religious element to your reading. I'm not sure. Gonna tear it all down. Okay, wondering where we're gonna go. I have been seeing the tower a bit for you. I have been seeing a lot of Queen of Wands energy. It doesn't feel like it's you. It feels like it's somebody that you're dealing with. I don't know if it's kind of like somebody that pushes your buttons in some sort of way. I don't know if it's necessarily a friend, a sibling perhaps, but it's almost like, sometimes people can either rub you up the wrong way, or it could even be like a love interest, or hello phone, or a it's just something. It feels like there's a person for you, an energy. Feels like it could be Sagittarius, could also be Leo, that kind of fiery energy. But it's like it like plays the right note, or it like they were showing me like a match lighting. So it's almost like something within you that gets provoked in some sort of way by this person, and it feels like it's moving some of you into a kind of like burn it all down energy, which I don't want to say do that. I don't think that's what your advice is. I think it's more that it's got the feeling of like, how do I say it? It's like something dormant within you, like a part of you that's dormant. And I feel like it is connected to this fire energy, this wands energy, which is the part of you that is enthusiastic, the part of you that hi cat, my cat's coming, so fair warning. Come and say hello there, Bessie. Come on, come on. So yeah, it could definitely be, like I say, the Queen of Wands normally does have a black cat with her, and it's quite rare for my cat. She's very soggy. I'm sorry, everybody. Come over and say hi. So yeah, she's very soggy. She's just been outside. But the Queen of Wands does have a black cat on the card, so it's strange that she should appear in your reading today. So it's like that part of yourself that's been dormant, the part of yourself that's perhaps gets put aside. So I keep getting that quote, like put aside childish things. It's like you have to go and do your work, you have to go and pay the bills, you have to go and cook the dinner, you have to do this, do that, all the kind of the things that the responsibilities that we have as adults. So oh gosh, she's just going to be a nuisance. I feel like this person is a bit of a nuisance to you, right? It's like they ring you at the wrong time, or they appear or they do something, and it's like I've got to focus on this other thing now. But it feels like kind of almost like playmate energy. It feels almost like it doesn't feel like the energy's bad. It's just inconvenient, perhaps. So, Bess, really, seriously. Affectionate, I guess, right? She's proper affectionate. So I'm just thinking like the way the cat's behaving is representative of this Queen of Wands energy that I'm picking up. I love you too. Maybe it's a child for some of you. It's like the child wants to play when you've got work to do, especially if you're working at home. But oh, she's so sweet. Maybe that's what you like. It's like, oh, I don't want to like, oh, go on then. It's got that kind of energy to it. Like, all right, let's go to the park. So with it being this, it's almost this thing that's lying dormant, right, which is represented by the unlit match. It's part of you that's really best. She's just knocked all my cards on the floor. It's this part of you that's what do you want from me? Do I have to pause the reading until this is done? It's the part of you that she's so affectionate. She's not normally like this. What's going on, Bess? What have you been doing out there? So it's this part of you that you've been neglecting, I think, right? It could be some kind of passion, like some kind of hobby that you like to do. a certain part of yourself that comes alive when this person's around you. So it could be, I was kind of getting guitar playing for some of you. It could be like, you know, you were in a band and oh God, she's so cute. You were in a band with this person and, you know, it's like, oh, come on, let's go and play a few gigs, you know, for old time's sake, that kind of energy. So you're just going to destroy my plan. Come back over here. So, so I don't know. I don't know. What are you trying to tell us, Beth? What are you trying to tell Capricorn? You're trying to tell them something. You're saying come out and play. All work and no play makes Caps a dull boy. Virgo's been getting a lot of that. So yeah, this kind of burn it down energy, this tower energy, it just feels like throwing all the paperwork up into the air and being like, I'm going out. I'm going to go and do what I want to do. It might be a shock to people because you are the responsible one. I've been getting a lot of like home energy for you. Like I feel like, you know, that Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton quote, which is funny because that was what, oh, I've got so much to tell you, Capricorn. I feel, again, it feels like old friend showing up. It's like you feel like home. Like your energy feels like home to me. You feel familiar. You feel comforting. You feel warm. You feel safe. You feel dependable. So I really like doing your readings. I like that energy that comes with doing your readings. But what are you doing, Bess? Please. So we just settle. So this reading is just going to be a hot mess. So yeah, you've got this kind of really homely energy to you. So I think because you are the dependable one, because you are the steady one, because you are the one that does things by the book, I think when you decide to drop it all and go and do something fun, it is quite a shock to people. They do have this like, oh, what do we do now? Oh, Capricorn's left the building, what do we do? Yeah, I think you're off having fun with somebody and causing a bit of mischief perhaps. I know, Bess, right? London may be significant for some of you. Oh, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani as well. It's funny because I was getting that song as I was walking home from work. She says, "You feel like home to me." It's at the end of like a Christmassy song. And then a Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton song played, like almost like in confirmation, like this, yes, this is for Cappy. Cappy feels like home to somebody. Some of you, it is Thanksgiving. It's actually, I'm recording this on the Friday, so Thanksgiving was yesterday, and I was definitely getting this kind of homecoming energy. So some of you perhaps traveling back to your home, perhaps having people coming to you, which, you know, I don't want to say that's a bit of a cop-out as a tarot card reader, because obviously that's what a lot of people are doing, but I was getting this kind of like ancestral energy for you as well. So, oh, hello, Rain. It's just, you kind of have a noisy reading. I'm sorry, it's not the peace and quiet perhaps you were hoping for. It's going to be whatever it is, right? So I was getting this feeling of like, it was like your ancestors were coming to talk to me, was the feeling that I was getting intuitively. And it's almost like my ancestors, my spirit guides want to have a word with you. So it's this energy of perhaps a blended family, perhaps you and your partner both have your own parents over, and it's like your partner's parents want a word with you. You know, your grandma wants a word with your partner. It's that kind of energy. So I got a song for each side. So the kind of what your guides wanted to say to me, and it's not necessarily me, right? It's like what your guides want to say to your partner. And you got, it's on my other phone, it was Arcadia by Lana Del Rey. So I encourage you to go and look up that song. So this is what your guides want to tell your person. So go and have a read of that, go and read the lyrics, go and do a little bit of digging, see what you get from it intuitively. There's some kind of message in there. The song that kind of like my guides, so, or your partner's guides wanted to say to you was Together Forever by Rick Astley, which made me laugh because it's a bit cheesy. Makes me think of my auntie who's Capricorn, and she's a little bit cheesy. She always liked, you know, Take That and Westlife and Rick Astley, Chesney Hawkes. I remember she loved Chesney Hawkes. So yeah, I don't know. Definitely that kind of Cappy energy coming through. I'm wondering if I've got like a Cappy ancestor. I know I sound so hyper. I think I'm in the Queen of Wands energy, right? I think I'm like the hyper friend energy right now. Or maybe again, it's like you, it's like this person brings that side out of you. It's like normally you're really serious and dependable, but this is like, this person comes around and it's like exciting and giddy. So again, it could be a child, I don't know, maybe like a cousin or something like this. Okay, shush, calm down. I'm going to go and feed her, so hopefully we get a little bit of peace and quiet. I'm going to pick up all my cards off the floor and we're going to get into your reading, Cap, so bear with me. All right. So I was already starting to channel "Come Out and Play" by Billie Eilish. I'm just picking up those cards if you're wondering why my voice is perhaps swaying around. I don't know why. It's just the energy of your reading is kind of like chaos. Um, like the tower energy, right? It's that kind of chaos energy, but it's almost like going with it. Like it's kind of like again, it's kind of that energy of like Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. It doesn't have to be that of like, you know, the kids are running a bit wild, all the grown-ups are a little bit drunk, everything's a bit crazy, and it's like you could stress out about it, but it's you're finding it quite fun, you kind of quite, you know, quite funny, and you're just kind of going with it. So like cleaning up but still talking to people, that kind of energy. So what was that getting for you? Come Out and Play by Billie Eilish. Wake up and smell a coffee, right? Is your cup half full or empty? So come out and play. Don't take life too seriously. And also that kind of like, I'm going to swear warning, like that fuck it energy. Fuck it of like, do you know what? The pots are going to still be there tomorrow, so I'm just going to go out and play. But for some of you, it's, I'm also channeling Put Your Hands All Over Me, just because of the way I was stroking the cat. Put Your Hands All Over Me by, I think it's Maroon 5. Put your hands all over me, please talk to me, tell me everything's going to be okay, right? It's funny because Sagittarius had this thing about talking somebody down. So I don't know if that's you. You're being a little bit anxious, and this Sagittarius energy is coming in like, you know, let's just go and have some fun. Sorry, it's slightly distracted there. And so there's a line in that song, play me and put me away, right? Play me and put me away. So I don't know if this Sagittarius energy that's coming in, it doesn't have to be a Sagittarius, right? I think you probably, for those of you who this is for, you probably have a really good idea of who this person is. It may be somebody who's quite in and out, right? They're there and then they're gone. They're here for a good time. It's almost like you enjoyed that experience with them, but perhaps, I don't know if because you're Capricorn, perhaps you do want something a bit longer. Perhaps you do feel a bit used afterwards, perhaps. Again, it can be a friend, it doesn't have to be romantic. You see it like, but it's good for you, I want to say, because, or is it good for you? Does it cause a lot of chaos in your life when this person shows up? Because the Queen of Wands is very magnetic. So it's almost like, you know, that match is lit inside you, you go out, you kind of blow off some steam, but then you have to kind of pick up all the pieces of that tower that blew apart when you kind of like threw everything up into the air. So maybe try and avoid that off the rails moment. They're telling me like off the rails and they're showing me like a roller coaster. Maybe try and avoid that off the rails moment of kind of like where you lose control. It might be the point of like when you have one drink too many. You know, I tend to like be able to track my drinks up to a certain point, and then it's like, you know, when people start filling up your glass, you lose track of how much you've drank, and then it's you lose that filter, that off switch, and you kind of like lose control of the evening. So maybe it's saying there's definitely something about pulling back. You've been coming through with a lot of king and emperor energy, which is this kind of like holding back energy. So again, I don't know if there's something you've been holding back a bit too much, and it's almost getting uncontrollable, right? It's at that point of like the dam breaking, you can't hold it back anymore. You know, so self-restraint is really good, but self-restraint to the point where you're crippling yourself is just actually weakening you, and it's going to send you out of control. So just be wary of that as a warning for some of you. Oh, right, what song did you randomise? I've forgotten what song you randomised with. Right, hang on, let me just see. Okay, it's kind of like everywhere. I just feel everywhere, really scattered. Babel by Mumford & Sons. So, because I know that time has numbered my days, I definitely feel that for you as well. An awareness that life is short, right? They're giving me, but life can be sweet. Wolf Alice, no hard feelings. Life can be short, but life can be sweet. So again, maybe it is that thing of like, too many you know, the rod that broke the camel's back. Too many responsibilities, and you sat there and you're thinking, why am I doing all this? Why am I the one when everybody else is like drunk and having fun? And why am I the one picking things up off the floor? Why am I being the responsible one yet again? I mean, it's natural for you to do that, Capricorn, but I think you are getting to a point where it's like, they just keep showing me, I don't know if you know the TV show Big Bang Theory, there's a character called Sheldon, and there's a kind of a meme of him where he just throws a load of paper up in the air. It's like, I'm done, throws the paper up in the air. That's what they keep showing me for you. I'll go along with everything you say, but I'll ride home laughing. Look at me now, the walls of my town come crumbling down. And my ears hear the call of the unborn sons, and I know their traces colour all I've done. But I'll explain it all to the watchman's son. I ain't ever lived a year better spent in love. I've never lived a year better spent in love, right? If I'm trying to put it in my own words. Because I know my weakness, I know my voice, and I'll believe in grace and choice. And I know perhaps my heart is farce, but I'll be born without a mask. Like the city that nurtured my greed and my pride, I stretched my arms into the sky. There's something about the city, right? The town, the city. They're giving me... What are they giving me? Sorry, because I'm trying to get Arcadia by Lana Del Rey, which was your guide's advice to the other person, right? Which she talks about, what is it? My body's a map of LA, the city that nurtured my greed and my pride. And now they're giving me, is it a town called Alice? Near a brain, pretty like a town without pity. No, it's a town without pity. Can do. Maybe somebody's stripping for you, I don't know. I cry, Babel, Babel, look at me now. So yeah, it feels like I'm hearing heart's desire. It feels like some of you are like, is this? It just feels like an explosion. It feels like a tower moment, but it's a tower moment that you've been holding back on. So, oh my goodness, Cappy, what is your reading going to be? I don't know how long we're going to be here for, so do make sure you've got your coffee, right? Two of Wands, you have a decision to make. You have a decision to make. But I do have this sense of like losing control energy. What other song played? There was another song that played for me as I was walking home after dropping my son off from school. It was a Britney Spears song. Something about ice. Break the ice. Some of you, I don't know if some of you are doing like an icebreaker at work, or you know, you're breaking the ice with somebody. Again, it could be something to do with like meeting family, perhaps somebody that's new to you, you're breaking the ice with them. Could also be like an icy relationship, you know, perhaps you know, the relationship between two of you has become quite frosty. You know, some of you it's you know, it's gone a bit cold, but it's like break the ice, like warm the relationship up again. Also, it could be talking about your heart, because you sometimes have quite an icy heart in my readings. It's like your heart needs to be warmed up. So do take that as it resonates. That's quite a spicy song, Break the Ice by Britney Spears. And again, Britney Spears is a Sagittarius. Embrace the in-between and overcome any obstacles. Bring your ideas to life. Here she comes again. She's just in an affectionate mood today, I think. And so you're in the in-between, right? You're in this indecision. You're in this left path, right path. But it's like, live in this moment. It's almost like live in this moment of indecision. Live in this moment of perhaps the moment where you switch paths, or live in the moment of, what is that? It's like live it, be in the in-between, be in the here and now, be in that. It's like, it feels like this is a big moment for you, Cappy, whatever this is. It's could be a big life-changing decision. So it's almost like take your time with it, right? Experience this, because it's a big moment in your life. I'm getting momentous. It's a big moment in your life, right? It's a very important turning point. Take everything you can from it. Like, write, you know, make records of your feelings, take photos of the people around you, it feels like there's this tipping point where your life's about to change, right? Your life is going to look perhaps completely different in the next couple of years than the way it has done in the past few years. So it's like record everything, record the here and now, because it's like life is not going to be the same again. So even if you don't like where you are now, it could be, again, workplace, family, home, whatever it is, like there's lessons in it. There's a lot of lessons in that for you. I'm kind of getting the world card. So you want to take everything you can from it. There's a richness to this moment. It's a pivotal point. So it does feel like that, kind of like riding the wave, or they're telling me like cresting, you know, like a surfer like on the crest of a wave. So it feels like go with it. Like you feel this crumbling energy. You feel that the walls are tumbling down. Cancer had the crumbling, I think. I named their reading the crumbling. Things are crumbling. So it's almost like falling with it. I keep getting labyrinth, and where at the end of the film where the kind of staircase place falls down and she kind of falls with it. It's like you're almost like in the role of the observer. You're almost like seeing everything crumbling down, but you're almost like watching it from a third person. It's almost like you're narrating your own experience of this tower moment, right? It's almost like watching something happen in third person. Again, with the books, it's like record it. And then Rhino, so it's a 5, so it is about a change. The 8, 2 and 6 making an 8, that's something that can't be, it's like something, it's almost like this 2 of Pentacles energy for me today, with the figure of 8 between the 2 Pentacles. There's something that's being held together. So there's something that's being held together, like these 2 paths, these 2 roads, these 2 options. It almost feels like a timeline split, right? What I'm kind of getting for some of you, it's a bit out there, but for some of you, they kind of show me, so I don't know how you identify he, she, they, but it's almost like this King of Pentacles, King of Wands energy, or this Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands energy, because you're normally Pentacles. So I'd normally say you were the Queen of Pentacles, right? So I'm just going to say you're the Queen, so however you identify. So it's like the 2 paths ahead of you are Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles. Is this you? Is this your path? But I think you're also the Queen of Wands. It's like that's also your path, right? That's also a part of who you are. So at the moment, it feels like there's this energetic cord that's kind of keeping these, it's almost like 2 planets in alignment, right? There's two things in the same orbit, but they're not quite coming together. There's this kind of like, you know, like 2 energies that are kind of circling each other. Again, it could be romantic for some of you. It's like you can't get further apart because you get pulled back together, but you can't get close because you get pushed apart. So it's almost like you feel this, it's just like this moment. It's like almost like an out-of-body experience, or like seeing this moment in third person, recognizing the importance of this moment, that life is never going to be the same again. And it's like these 2 planets collide, these 2 timelines collide and become one timeline. It's like you don't have to make a choice because both timelines exist in the same space. That's not going to make sense to all of you, but it's what I'm channeling, so I don't know. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. You're getting in a similar way to Libra. Libra had this like pushing through energy. It's like you just have to keep moving forward. You just have to be focused. You just have to, I'm just sort of seeing like the focus of the flamingo as well, the focus of the rhino. It's almost like this tank energy, right? Like it's like I don't know if I'm picking up on like a past life thing with the ancestry. It's like everything, like literally like it's almost like a war zone, like everything's falling down. Like what I'm seeing is like the tank just has to keep going through the streets. The tank has a job to do. The tank just has to get there. So it's this pushing forward energy. It's funny, I'm just sort of seeing as well, Scorpio had this thing about the castle being at the end of this path. It's like they had somewhere to go as well. It's like everywhere has somewhere to go. Everyone has somewhere to go. Everyone has this destination point in mind. Everyone has to get to this place. So it's coming through, I don't want to scare anyone, right? But it's coming through this, again, it could be like past life stuff. It's coming through this energy of like, you know, like the shelter, like everybody, when the sirens go off, everybody has to go to the shelter. It's got that kind of energy to it. Normally when I do a tarot reading, things come through as really big, right? Really big and scary and overwhelming. And when it actually, but that's kind of like the 5D energies. And when it comes down into the 3D, when it plays out, it's normally something really mundane. So a lot of the times I channel things like that and it turns out to be like a movie that I watch. So I know that I've channeled something and I've genuinely channeled something. I've genuinely seen something. I watched like the movie June, and it was almost like frame for frame, like scene for scene, I'd predicted something. So it was like watching a movie that I'd already seen when I hadn't seen it before and I didn't know anything about it. So that was really freaky to me. But it happens to me very commonly where I predict something that's like, what is this energy that I'm picking up on? And it's just a movie or it's just a book, right? So it could be that for you. So don't freak out. It's funny, I think, was it Libra? I can't remember who had it. Somebody had this song, and it was a line from a Lana Del Rey song which said, "You've got the music in you." It's like, again, it's like that match that's about to be lit in you, Capricorn. It's like the same thing. It's like, you've got the music in you, you've got this thing in you. It's like recognition that someone else has this same light inside them. And I was trying to think in that song, I was like, what is that reading, sorry, what is the other song? There's another song with the same line. And I was asleep in bed and it was like daft o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I think it's either Beach House or it's Cigarettes After Sex. So then I googled the line. I was like, I'm sure it's Cigarettes After Sex, which is a band. And it was Apocalypse by Cigarettes After Sex. So I was like, oh great, it's Apocalypse, great. So I don't think I'm predicting the apocalypse. I think it's just a movie or something like that. But with that, like everything come tearing down energy, like everything falling apart, it's almost like let it fall away. It's part of your story, it's part of your they're showing me now, this is not going to be for everybody again, Doctor Who. So Peter Capaldi became Doctor Who, but he'd already been in a Doctor Who episode with a volcano. It's funny, the volcano's back again. It was like Pompeii, right? Mount Vesuvius, is that right? I should know. I'm doing Greek, not Greek. Why did I say Greek? Doing Latin because it was Italy. I don't know what that was. That's weird. That was a weird little brain hiccup. That's going to mean something to somebody. Don't know why it was coming through as Greek. So, but Peter Capaldi anyway, he's in Pompeii, and he's not Doctor Who, he's just this character. It's almost like Doctor Who remembered this man, Doctor Who remembered this face, and that's why he regenerated with the face of this other person. So it's like two people, someone who looks like somebody else from the past, somebody who's been regenerated, reincarnated. It's funny, I had like the Highlander as well the other day. So maybe it is something about remembering past lives, or something about ancestry, or something like this for you, or for some of you. They're giving me a Madonna song, Do I Know You From Somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more? Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? It's like something playing out again. It's like a past life playing out again almost. Again, it could just be that you're watching something. It's like it's part of the story, it's part of the map, it's part of the bigger plan. So whatever's happening, just go with it. Know that it's a transition, not an end. Anything else for Caps? There you are, Knight of Wands. That's the energy I'm feeling. It's like, again, here's the match that's been lit. So the thing that's inside of you that inspires you, that makes you act on impulse, the Knight of Wands is impulsive. So I'm getting this energy for you for like holding back or pulling back on your own reins or reining it in a lot. There's a part of you, it's the music in you, right? It's something in you. Forgive me, I can see it in a boy's eyes. Is that Jamelia? Which is because of there's something with Cancer's reading as well. Because Cancer had this thing of like, sorry, I've gone quiet. I'm just trying to pick up on what's coming through. Maybe go and watch Cancer's reading. It's a bit of a long one again. There's something in you, right? I think it's seen. It ended your last reading as well, the last Capricorn reading, with like, do you remember I was saying it's like something rubbing off? It's like the surface level rubbing off and the thing that's underneath being seen. I feel like for some of you, if you're the person who is in Cancer's reading, you've had a lot of guilt or shame over this. It's almost like it wasn't acceptable, perhaps in your culture or your religion or your family. But I don't think you're feeling guilty about it anymore. I think you're embracing that shadow within, right? And it's empowering you. You're doing the golden shadow, Carl Jung's golden shadow. You're doing that. That's why you've been having Pluto in retrograde. That's why you went down to face your demons. You faced your demons, you won the battle, you're coming back up again strong. It's funny, in Libra's reading I said, was it Libra's reading or was it Cancer's reading? It was Cancer's reading, yeah. I made a comment about Little Nas, and that's the kind of energy. It's almost like you went down there, you defeated the devil, you claimed rulership, you claimed ownership of that land. Now, and that's something within you. That's part of your own inner soul, right? The dark side of your own, your own shadow self, which everybody has. I'm not saying that you're a sinner or anything like that. It's our own battles, our own internal struggles that we fight, our own demons that we have to face. But your demon is your friend. Your demon is like empowering you. Your demon is something that's lit up now. It's like something that's alive with that golden shadow energy. So obviously I'm not telling anybody to do anything really bad, nothing like that. It's just a part of yourself that's coming alive that I think you've repressed. And the mask is coming off because it's almost like the mask is no longer fit for purpose. The mask is no longer sustainable because the environment's changed, right? These situations change, the landscapes change. So for some of you, it's just a case of, you were doing what needed to be done. You were going to work, you were getting paid, doing a certain job. And it's like, maybe the business closed. Maybe that job's not there anymore. Maybe you couldn't continue to live in the house that you were paying the mortgage for. There was like some kind of like natural thing that meant that, you lost that living situation. You got the insurance payout. Life's different now. It could be that some of you are retiring, right? So if I ground this into something that's probably more realistic and understandable, it's just some kind of big life change, right? It's like unavoidable. The Tower of Babel came falling down. Capricorn didn't have to play that role anymore. That life was gone, right? It's like that role was gone, that stage was gone, that theatre was gone. So you don't have to play King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles anymore. It's like now you're free to play Knight of Wands and then eventually get into that Queen and King of Wands energy. Now it's playtime for Capricorn and you don't have to hide it. It's like, it feels liberating. It feels like freedom. It feels like, oh my goodness. It feels, yeah, it's like, I'm free. I'm free. Oh my goodness. So what are you going to do with that freedom? That's the question. I'm getting the urge to read the book for this one. Because the Knight of Wands can be tricky. The Knight of Wands can be reckless. They're very, very impulsive. But it's like you have to make those mistakes sometimes to be the King and Queen of Wands. Sentinel duty is part of being a knight in the court of fire. Court life under the rule of the volcano goddess is full of peril, which is why this knight stands at the ready for whatever may come his way. Good or bad, he is prepared. His training has made him alert, responsive, and ready to act when and where it is necessary. This may seem boring and mundane to some, but they don't understand the benefits of commitment, repetition, and duty. Though this knight, honour is serving his court with dignity, courage, and unquestionable loyalty. This is interesting, isn't it? Very interesting take on the Knight of Wands. So what I'm kind of getting from that is, it's almost like, again, that part of yourself that it's like something that's been in waiting, a part of yourself that's been, what did I say? What was the word I used earlier? It's like it's always been there, but it's been switched off. Oh, it's funny, I saw this thing about somebody trying to get on a computer and the computer's not working. So they had to go and pull like the tower out, and they were like pulling all the wires in and out and like looking for wires that were disconnected. I don't know if that's something for somebody. It's like something you thought wasn't working, but actually it was just like something wasn't plugged in. Right, I see how that plays out now. So for some of you, it could be like, okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you with what I'm getting. It's not going to be for everybody. It could just be for one person. For one of you, it's like, maybe it's your sex drive or like erectile dysfunction. It's like a part of yourself that you didn't think was functioning, right? But it's always been working, and it's been working actually perfectly. It's just that it's been on switch off, right? It wasn't the part of you that was needed at the time in that situation. So it's just been on, it's been in like stasis, right? It's been on ice. So I do really want me to light a match on camera. So it's like, right? It's like that. It's always been there. It's always been ready, but it's just been like, that's the difference. It's just been, this is a bit dangerous for me to do on camera. This is a bit reckless. It's like, this is what it's been, right? But you just didn't know how to light it. It's like you were lighting it on the wrong part of the box or something. It just wasn't needed at the time. So you've got it now. You've lit it now, or it's been lit up inside of you. And now you know what to do with it. It sounds so funny. A bit lewd. Okay. But it's like the Knight, right? It's like the guard. You're on guard duty and you've got all that training, right? It's in there. It's within you. You know what to do if the emergency situation happens. Again, it could be like an emergency situation, like running drills or something. It's like you know what to do. So then you see the enemy at the gate, and then that training, like instantly, it's like almost like you don't even have to think about it. Just naturally your body remembers what to do. Yeah. See, this is the holding back energy. This is like keeping it hidden. Right here is like the Ten of Wands. You know, it's like burning away. Does feel like something burning away to reveal something underneath, right? And the King of Wands is very, very icy. And look, we've got like Elsa as well. So it does speak to me about, maybe you've got Aquarius in your chart as well. Aquarius is quite an icy sign. But again, Aquarius can be very, very hot and spicy in the right conditions. It's this, the King of Swords, he's like, do you see, he's like resting on his sword. He's holding his sword back. It's almost like, I don't know if this is from a movie. I can't quite place it, but they're showing me this like scene of, it's kind of like an old bearded king, and he's holding his sword. He's got like his crown on his head, a big beard, and he's kind of in the same pose, like resting on his sword, but he's a statue. He's like a sculpture, he's a statue. But then it's like this, it's almost like this, kind of like this fire creeping over him, but it's kind of like sparkly. It's like this magic, like turning him back from a statue into a living human being again. It's like he's waking up, he's reanimating. So it could be, I'm thinking of like, I keep getting like the end of, not the Wizard of Oz, the Return to Oz. I don't know if there's something like that in there. I can't quite place it. Or like Medusa, right? The myth of Medusa turning people to stone. Something about the gaze of Medusa as well, right? It's like you were frozen because of this external gaze, this thing watching you. It could be like the eyes of God, right? I have to behave myself, God's watching. But it could be like literally someone in your life who's been keeping an eye on you, like almost like making sure you're behaving. So you've been frozen. But I feel like it's almost like that. It's almost like the head's been removed. It's that energy is not watching you anymore. So again, it's this feeling of like freedom, of I can make my own decisions now. I'm not forced into this role. Like the burdens, because the 10 of Wands is dropping the burdens. It's like, it's just coming through this like burning away energy to reveal the thing underneath. I'm going back to this deck. This deck really wants to come out for you, by the way. And it's funny because it's not really... I don't know. I don't know why they wanted to use this deck, but they did. 6 of Swords. So you're moving on. You're moving forward. They want me to read this card. The King of Swords. Moving on, moving forward, or preparing to. Preparing to move on, preparing to move forward, preparing to travel for some of you. Keep the heart away. So this is the past energy, right? This is the energy that you were in or are. It's like you're in that point, you're in that energy of like the Ice King is about to be warmed up. The Ice King is about to be melted. Keep the heart away. I have commanded, I have battled, I have ruled. I am your leader. You have to submit to my authority and laws. I don't care if you think I'm not sympathetic or sweet. Maybe this isn't who you are. Maybe this is that Medusa energy that was like controlling you. I don't know. I don't care if you think I'm not sympathetic or sweet. This is not what I have time to be. It doesn't say that. It says this is not what I have to be. And I said this is not what I have time to be. Again, with that energy of like, I've got a job to do. I've got a role to play. I've got, it's like other responsibilities here. It's like, I don't care if you, it is that kind of quite Capricorn and Aquarian energy of being quite stoic and being quite, this is what I'm doing now, like deal with it, right? And not perhaps being super sympathetic to the people who are looking for your time and attention. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's you, it could be somebody around you, but I just have this feeling of like you've been busy. This is not what I have to be. My order to you is that you keep your emotions under control. I want you to remain rational, objective, and lucid. So this could actually be a warning that that tower is about to fall, right? And maybe you don't want to be the one that lights the match. Maybe you don't want to be the one who throws everything up in the air. It's like, keep it, don't have that drink because you will lose control. So it could be a warning. I want you to remain rational, objective, lucid. Use your intellectual power to analyse calmly the situation. Stay fair but also very firm. Fancy dreams or impulsive decisions are not appropriate right now. I may release your other Capricorn reading that I recorded for the last set of readings, because I can't remember what I called it, but it had that theme to it. It was, I can't remember. I may just release it. Somebody get a telling off though. Somebody who was like a husband was getting a telling off. Is all I'm going to say. So fair warning. Use your own in blah blah blah. Stay fair but also very firm. Fancy dreams or impulsive decisions are not appropriate right now. Untidy emotions mustn't get in the way. I won't tolerate childishness or inconsistency. You won't touch me with tears or complaints. I demand that you put a clear eye on the matter, and then that you resolve the problem without moaning. It's very harsh. Again, I don't know, maybe that's somebody that you've been dealing with. Maybe that is like what you grew up with, some kind of father energy, or mother. Okay, father. I was getting as well for somebody, it's like somebody had a very strict father, a very domineering father, and they were secretly communicating with the mother. So secretly texting, secretly sending emails. So that's for somebody. Powerful intellect, great authority, sharp mind, impartiality, use the head, not the heart. So it is impartial, it is fair, it's just cold. But then again, with like break the ice. Break the ice. Okay, I think I'm starting to close out the reading, but I want to go for the good tarot. And the fairies are telling me, interesting. messenger of earth. Yeah. So there is something changing, there is something falling, so that you can be rebirthed, I want to say. This call card is the Judgment card in the tarot. It's a card that comes after death, when things are reviving again. So it can sometimes symbolize a connection with somebody from your past that is being reignited. So again, it could be like getting back in touch with a father who perhaps was quite cold and distant when you were growing up. For others of you, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, by the way. It's right, different strokes for different folks. But I feel like more, it's like it's you. You're in that Two of Wands energy, right? You're in that like making a choice energy, but it's almost like, I feel like either you're instigating something and there's going to be a big change. It's like all of a sudden, but it more feels like chaos is a ladder energy. It feels like the universe is kind of, it's like all of a sudden all the dominoes fall, right? All of a sudden, I've got with you this sense of like you saw it coming. It's like all of a sudden the structures around you fall down. All of a sudden, it's just like this imagery of like you being stood inside like 4 brick walls, and then the brick walls crumbling, and like you're free. And they're showing me I want to say it's Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood. There's like an old man with a really long beard, and he's in like a little cage, and it's like the cage falls and it breaks open, and he's like, I'm free, but then he falls into like another cage. It's like you thought you were free, but then you're back in another cage. So watch out for the traps, right? You don't want to go straight back into the same situation you've just left. I think that's a warning there. So yeah, it's like chaos is a ladder, like everything's falling apart, but it's almost like you see it in third person. You see it in this kind of like out of body experience of almost going on autopilot. It's almost like watching yourself, like this soldier suddenly coming to life and knowing what to do. It's like you just see yourself doing all the right things. It's almost like something takes over you, just kind of like with The Sims when like you turn autonomy on and off. It's like all of a sudden something's controlling you, right? Something's controlling you and just doing everything right. And it is you, I want to say. It's just like almost like the stress of the situation puts you into this third person energy where it's like you're just watching yourself doing it and being like, oh my God, I'm a hero, oh my God, look at me rescuing the puppies from that burning building. And you don't do anything stupid. It's just the way it's telling me. It's like suddenly being like, oh my God, I'm awesome. I am bossing this situation. Like one of those weird moments of like clarity, of seeing yourself through the eyes of other people, right? Yeah, that's what it is. It's almost like seeing yourself through the eyes of other people, like looking at their expressions, looking at them watching you, like shocked and like amazed, and realizing you're the one having that impact on them, and also like seeing yourself through their eyes, seeing yourself in that light of being this person who just knew what to do in that situation. So it's like, again with this, it's almost like this statue coming to life, or like the shell breaking off, like, and the real thing coming out. It's like suddenly your strength comes out. They show me as well, like, sometimes you see it on the news, like this housewife who, the kid gets trapped under a car, and then they come over and they lift the car. It's like this feat of superhuman strength, and the kid gets out. It's like you're gonna have this like almost like hero moment, this feat of superhuman strength where you just know what to do. And it's probably not going to be for everybody. Again, it could just be a TV show you're watching. And then the 5 of Fire. So the 5 of Wands. It almost feels like beating the competition. Like there's no competition. Like you're the Winter Soldier or something. I don't know. Yeah, Winter Soldier. Again, you could just be watching Winter Soldier, perhaps. It's like there's no competition. You're the hero in this movie. You're the protagonist. The Fairy then. The Fairy. So this is that cat energy. This is that Queen of Sagittarius energy. This is that person who's like, come and be naughty with me. Come out and play. Let's blow off some steam. I don't know if they're friend or foe. I think they're both, right? I think they're both. They're a catalyst for you. Plus lost and found. Nature's signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We only need to open our hearts and minds. So the cat, right? The cat sending us that message. Lost and found. And there's a cat on that card. Lost and found and fairy spotting. My heart just pounded. What was once is... I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee so I can speak. Okay. What was lost is about to be found. And it's that thing inside you. It's that match that you didn't even think was there, but it's just dormant. It's something in you, I swear. What was lost is about to be found, thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things that we never even realised were lost. So the thing with the fairies is they're like these playful little tricksters, right? But they're not bad. They're just... It's like nature. A storm isn't bad. You could get mad at it, right? You could shout at the clouds, but the storm isn't inherently bad. It can be destructive, but it's also part of nature. It's part of replenishing things, right? It's part of clearing things away so that new things can grow. So, you know, you get mad at a natural wildfire, but that natural wildfire is going to... yeah, they're showing me a specific image. I'd seen it on Twitter where it shows this it's almost like a ground fire, right? And it comes through that, you know how I was saying about that statue with the king, where it was almost like a sparkly energy, like removing the outer shell from this king. It's this image of like a woodland, and then this like fire that kind of like burns across it. It kind of just looks like this magical fairy, like just magic, like going across and burning away the grass, but it makes the earth fertile so that new things can grow. I think it like removes some of the bigger trees, right, the bigger plants that create a lot of shade, but then the little plants can't grow underneath. So it comes through and it clears the overgrowth so that the light can get through to the seedlings. Fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. So you have to believe to be able to see it. If you haven't already watched it, I do recommend Nicholas Ashbow's Cappy reading as well. That just went up a day or so ago. Get grounded and trust the niggle. Empaths, highly sensitives, to connect with nature. See, this is what I'm feeling as well. Trust the niggle. What is the niggle trying to tell you? Cappies, I feel like you do have this kind of shaman energy about you, right? This kind of like earth priestess or earth priest energy to you. It is like with what was it? Watch the signs or whatever it is. It's almost like, you know, it's like the animals speak to you, the earth itself, nature speaks to you, nature tells you something. If you get up and it's grey and cloudy, maybe you have a bad day. If you get up and the sun's out, maybe you have a great day. It's almost like your internal clock is part of this like machine of nature, right? It's one and the same. You see yourself as part of it. So I think that's the music in you, right? I think that's the thing inside you that you lost connection with for a while. Perhaps you thought it wasn't working. They're showing me someone like a pocket watch, somebody banging a pocket watch and it not working. I feel like that's something out of another movie. Again, maybe like, what is it, His Mortal Instruments, is it? Something like that. She's got that compass and then all of a sudden it works. It's like, that's what it is. It's like, it's not broken. That part of you isn't broken. Again, it could be your heart. You had that kind of machine heart energy for a while. Whatever you thought you didn't have, it's like maybe you thought a part of you was missing. Maybe you thought you weren't a full human. You were like, that part of me doesn't exist. It's always existed and it works perfectly. It just wasn't needed at the time. It was dormant. So this thing that's waking up inside of you, it's not just working, it's a very finely tuned instrument that knows exactly what to do at exactly the right time, and it's going to do it perfectly, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, so use it, use that like magician earth magic energy that you have so strongly. You're an old soul, Capricorn, right? You are you know, the oak men of the woods, and you know, the priestesses of the trees. That is your energy. You know, I always say, like, the zodiac, it's like you start as a baby. If you want to see, like, you know, lives on earth, I always think, like, it's a theory, like the Aries is the baby. That's your first life, where, you know, you make a lot of mistakes, you try a lot of things, you make a lot of mistakes, and you progress, right? Then you get grounded, you become Taurus, where it's like, you know what, I'm going to stick to something, I'm going to see what happens if I stick to something over a long time. And eventually you progress through, and you get to Cappy, and you get to Aquarius, and you get to Pisces. Pisces are like these, like, like old soul babies to me. But you have that, you're like this grounded kind of like almost like that king of the earth, that stone king. Or show me, like, I think it's imagery from this. It's like oh no, I've got, look at that. Trust, he always comes out for you, right? The stag spirit. It's this deck that I'm thinking of. There's like a king of Earth, King of Pentacles in this deck, where there he is, look, he's right there. Yeah, this is you, this is your energy. So he, she, they, however you resonate. You know, this is what's within you, and it doesn't matter what the surface is doing. It doesn't matter what that mask is that you wear to the world. Like, this is the heart and soul of you. This is the spark inside you. It's this kind of like, do you see, like, the imagery, like very, like, man or woman of the earth? You can see he's like actually part of the earth, kind of like the guy from Game of Thrones, right? He's like become part of the tree. So you've got the music in you, you've got the you've got that connection to like old earth magic. You just maybe forgot how to use it because of, you know, the trappings of modern life. You got disconnected from it. Again, with the imagery of the computer, right, plugging everything back in, you're being plugged in. Antlers as well to me. This is going to be a long reading. What are we on now? It's only an hour. Phew, Libra had an hour and a half. It's like I go and watch Nicholas Ashbar's Libra reading too, because he was talking about this as well. Like, the antlers to me talk about, it's almost like your aerials. You know, your if you think about like an old-fashioned, I can see one across the road, TV aerial, like the metal aerials, right? They put out the antennae to kind of bring in that information. And like, trees to me are like that as well. Trees to me are like, they're all connected by this root system and this branch system. It's, trees actually talk to each other. They use mycelium as well, which is like this underground network. So there's these like natural internet systems. It's like they've always been there. This kind of like nature's internet, right? It's always been there. The trees have always been talking to each other. Now I sound crazy, but they have, right? You can, there's scientific people who say this, like what's his name now? The mushroom guy, I can't think of his name. Stamets, S-T-A-M, Stamets. But he's this expert in mushrooms, right, with mycelium all talking to each other. And then they talk to the trees. So the trees kind of know if there's like something that's a threat to them. If there's kind of a, again, this is like scientific. If there's kind of like rot, you know, some kind of rot in the trees, it's like they communicate that to each other. So it's like we're just catching up as humans. We're decades behind, you know, millennia behind the trees. So we're just starting now to have like 4G, 5G, right, our internet network. And I personally think that's why my kind of intuition's been activated or ramped up, is because it's in the air, right? It's in the air. So, and that's why I think I channel a lot of movies and things, because it's like almost, it's going through the satellites. And why I channel music, it's almost like an internal or a natural part of us that is able to pick up these radio frequencies, the stuff that's being sent through the air, like Willy Wonka with his chocolate bar. Is like we've got some kind of natural antennae that can receive those signals, I think, anyway. That's what I think is going on. So to me, when I channel, I see this kind of like light tree energy. It runs up and down my spine, it goes down into the earth like a root system, it goes up into the sky, connects out into like the satellites and the stars, right? It connects all around the world. So it's this big information tree network that I tap into. And it is very much like antlers, right? The branch of a tree is like antlers. So it's you sending out these feelers. I want to say that you can do it too. You've got that music in you. You can send out those feelers, those psychic, energetic feelers, and feel around and kind of see what you pull back in. I think you've got that. I don't know if they're messing with me. They're giving me Hodor now. Hold the door. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read these. We're going to wrap up your reading. And yeah, and I'll send you on your way. Get grounded. But that's what I mean. It's almost like you know what to do. It's like something happens and you're already wired up. You're already connected. So it's like you've already got the blueprints of what this situation is and what you have to do in that moment. It's like you've downloaded the PDF, right? You've downloaded the psychic rule book for this situation. You've got the information. I'm just looking for it. Get grounded. It's so annoying because it's like it's in alphabetical order, but it's got like all these little subsections, so it's always so hard to find. Get grounded. There it is, 66. They're telling me 1066. So again, for those of you who are interested in their ancestry or perhaps Akashic records, 1066 was the Battle of Hastings. Obviously quite a momentous event for King Harold. Was it Harold? I want to say Harold. Probably showing myself up there by getting my history wrong. Empaths, highly sensitives, connected with nature. You are being called to get grounded. So they're telling me, sorry, back to this. It's like if you don't have Paul Stamets. There you go. There you go. That's the name of the mushroom guy. So if you don't have the information, if you don't have the answer, right? If your internet's down, open yourself up, ask the universe for the answer and just listen. And it might just come in. You might just pull in the answer. Paul Stamets. Yeah, that's his name. So you are being called to get grounded to ensure that your luminous field is clear and your inner well is full. If you're not grounded, it's all too easy to get swept up in other people's energy and mistake it for your own. Your boundaries will become blurred as you are observed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is activating for you, but you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to control it. You don't know how to put boundaries in place. You work with your guides. So whoever you feel is around you, even if you're not sure who that is, you just have this sense that there's energy around you. You know, just talk to them. Even just in your own mind, talk to them. Yeah, just be crazy, Capricorn. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody will get used to it. Like nobody has to know, right? Nobody has to know. You can keep it to yourself, you know, communicating psychically. So if you feel like you've opened up a doorway in your mind and you don't know how to close it, perhaps you're getting unwanted information, set the intention, say to your guides, this is what I will allow in, or this is what I want you to close out, or put up boundaries, right? You know, it's like you're on the toilet, you're like, can you just shut the psychic door now while I'm on the toilet? Thank you. You know, that kind of thing. So you're in control of as well what I'm doing now, channeling, right? I'm moving into your energy. I'm connecting with your psychic network. If you don't want me to do that, close the door, right? I won't be able to read for you if you close the door on your side. So it's up to you whether you open that door to me or close that door to me. Coming to my readings is you opening that door to me. So be aware of that, right? You're in control. It's all too easy to get swept up in other people's energy and mistake it for your own, especially if you are an empath, and I think you are a natural empath. Your boundaries will become blurred as you are absorbing the energies around you and struggling to define what is their stuff and what is yours. Okay, so another thing, I definitely do that. And I've had proof, and I don't want to say what the proof is, but I've had proof that I can sometimes get weird moods or weird feelings that aren't mine, and then I will it'll be a friend, right? There'll be something that's happened to a friend, which is like, I picked up on how they were feeling. So it can make you sometimes feel a little bit bipolar, a little bit all over the place. A little bit how when my cat came in before and I was talking about that Queen of Wands energy, that kind of very like crazy, like no restraints energy. I felt that kind of craziness coming in. Because I was tapping into that energy. That's not my energy. But then with energy work as well, you become aware of how you can tap into certain things when you need them. So say you're going for a test, you could tap into Capricorn energy, right, and really study hard for that test and really gain that skill and gain that knowledge and persevere with that learning process. But then maybe you need a confidence boost when you go into the test. So maybe you want to go into the test like a Leo. So you as you do more energy work, you start to be able to pull on the right string for the right time. My daughter is finally up out of bed. Hi, G. Morning. If you pull this card, you are very likely an empath or a highly sensitive person and need time alone, absolutely, to fill up your well. Maybe again with Elsa, it's like you have to go Ice Queen, right? You look at that as well, Four of Cups. You have to take yourself away from other energies because it gets confusing. What are your feelings? What are other people's feelings, right? You need that quiet time. You need that alone time. I absolutely do. I absolutely really need that time if I've been busy, if I've done a lot. Happened yesterday. I put a really silly post out on the internet and it had like over 1,000 views. And I got a little bit, oh my goodness, all these people's eyes on me, right? All these people's eyes on me, judging me, not giving me feedback. I don't know if they're making fun of me. I don't know if they're laughing along with me. I don't know what the reaction to that is. But then I'm sending out those energetic cords to kind of like feel that out. And it's overwhelming. So then I have to like pull everything back. So I had to like go to bed early. I was really tired anyway. I hadn't slept well the night before. But it's like, I need to just go to bed early. I need to disconnect. I need to completely pull my energy back in and disconnect and go inwards and go back to source, right? The source energy. But doing that energetic work, so through yoga and meditation and just through knowing my own psychic tree, right, and how to control that, I'm able to do that. But I need that cave time, I need that alone time to do that. So again, I feel like maybe you're just learning about this, maybe not, maybe some of you are like proper like wizard energy. You need time alone to fill up your well, balance your energy and get grounded. There are two types of people, those who draw their energy from others and those who draw their energy from within, right? I think that's the same. Maybe that's the two paths. Those who draw their energy from others and those who draw their energy from within. I get drained by others usually, and I tend to have to replenish my energy through walking in nature, being around the trees or being alone. That's how I replenish. Being around a lot of other people, being an empath and connecting with those energies, it can be very overwhelming for me. So definitely something in there for you. But you can do both. You can learn to do both. You can learn to push and pull energy with other people. Reflect on the one that you are and carve out time each day to ensure your well is replenished. Being sensitive is a superpower, but like all powers, it needs to be nurtured in order to be fulfilled. What was that? Something about those who wait in your quiet times. So I think it is from another card. It's the description of another card. I don't know which one. Something about those who wait in your quiet times. Those who understand that you need rest. Those who understand that you need quiet. Being sensitive is a superpower, but like all powers, it needs to be nurtured in order to be fulfilled. It is easy to get swept up in the high frequency energies that are swirling around the planet. The quickest and most effective, that's what I'm saying, like swept up, like you're getting that kind of swept up in other people's energy. And perhaps doing things that you later regret as well. Some of you, if you go out partying or something and blowing off steam, it's like you lose control very quickly, perhaps. The quickest and most effective way of clearing all this from your field is to ground yourself by connecting with Mother Earth, right? There are many ways to get grounded. One of the most powerful ones is to practice earthing by connecting to the power of Mother Earth. Spend time in nature, put your hands on a tree. I do that. Your palms are extensions of your heart chakra, or walk barefoot on the earth. I walk around and I touch trees. Like I do, that's what I do. and I know I look crazy, but you get to the point where you don't care. It's what you have to do and it's what works for you. So yeah, I'm a tree toucher. Confessions of a tree toucher. Do something to get grounded and connect with the earth, right? And you've got trust the niggle. Yeah, there's something. That's what I mean. It's like you feel it, right? You feel it coming. You feel this. It's like you feel this tower moment coming in. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That niggling feeling, that annoying niggling feeling, that inconvenient, annoying niggling feeling is the Queen of Wands. Try as you might, it's there and it ain't going anywhere. Sorry, mate. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feelings, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post-rationalization to numb them out. Hello, King of Swords. It's exhausting, and until you face the niggle, life just throws more bait to awaken it. See? Again, like I was talking about, like the trigger, the catalyst, that thing that's trying to wake that thing up inside you. It's the niggle. It's serving you. It's like, it's not good or bad, it just is. To draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. See? The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way. The relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, the stone in your shoe. Often we feel the niggling feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact it is the body that is the intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. Exactly, right? It's like intuitive intelligence, that's what he has, and he's ready to act. You are being called to face the niggle now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your path. Yeah, you're getting a big warning, Caps. And then you likely will regret that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you are safe. Answer the niggle now. What is your niggling feeling trying to tell you? They're giving me the Ancestor songs again. My Body's on the Map of LA and Together Forever by Rick Astley. Go and look those up. It might just be one line that pops out at you, right? There's something. It's like you're getting this big, you're showing me a big red flag, but it's not a red flag like, it is a warning, but it's more of a heads up. It's not like red flag, don't go in this direction. It's not a big stop sign, I want to say. Although it could be if some of you are veering off the rails, but it's almost like maybe you were on the wrong track on the first place, right? Maybe you were on the wrong track in the first place. And veering off the rails is inevitable, but how you veer off the rails, how you veer off the track is up to you. It's like, it's almost like jump or be pushed, right? It's like they're showing me now one of those, you know, with electric cars, there was a computer game that you could play at one point, and it was about how electric cars are programmed to make split-second decisions. Because this is like a split-second decision, and you're going to make the right decision, I want to say, because you've got the blueprint. It's almost like you've been downloading this blueprint of the future this whole time. So when the moment happens, it's like you just know what to do naturally. It's all there. It's all part of your instinctive DNA. So they're showing me like the computer program where it's like the car's going forward, you can't brake, and it's like there's two paths to take. One of them has, I don't know, an old man in it, right? An old man, he's clearly had a good life. The other one is like, it's 6 school children. It's like, which path do you take? And it's like those school children, they're just children. They don't have a lot to offer the world, right? Maybe that old man's a doctor. Maybe that man has 7 doctorates, right? But he's lived a good life. So it's this moment of like, okay, which path do you can't break, which path do you choose? So there's a philosophical thing there. And it's like, you both are bad choices, right? But I don't know what is coming through. Kimmy Schmidt. I don't want to tell anyone to do that. There's a Kimmy Schmidt episode where she's training to be a lollipop lady, what we call lollipop ladies in the UK. And she's given one of those decisions and she solves it in a unique way. And I'm going to leave it there because that's quite a big message. Oh, what's that coming in with? She makes a hero's choice. She makes a hero's choice, and that's not something that I want to tell anyone to do. This reading suddenly got very serious. But I had Joe and the Volcano the other day as well. And if you know the ending of Joe and the Volcano, I had to go and look it up. There's something in that as well. So, like I say, it always, the way things come through in the 5D, it's never quite as serious when it plays out in the 3D. It's never quite as serious when it's a real life decision to make. But I feel like there could be some kind of situation that you come into where you make a selfless choice, right? You make a completely selfless choice. But it's almost like it's a choice that gives you a huge amount of good karma. And it's like, you know what choice you have to make. You know what you have to do. Like, there's no choice. There is no choice, right? You already know the answer. Caps. All right. All right. Calm your tits. It's going to be fine. Like, look, the sun's here. The sun and the Hierophant. Look at that. It's like, that is like winning the karma lottery. You're winning the karma lottery. All right. Take care of yourselves. I love you to pieces. You know, I am here as well, Cappy friends. If you want to talk, I'm always here to listen. Take care. Bye bye. Love you. Bye bye.